Hello. Uh, in this video, we're going to be focusing on auditory hallucinations, which is associated with schizophrenia. And we're going to examine the effects of what somebody goes through that has this mentality, this disability. And one of the one, one of the hardest things is distinguishing what's reality and what's not. And as a person talks to another person, they're able to identify what the person is saying, comprehend it, and respond in a social manner. However, with somebody that has a disorder like mine, there's complications. And with those complications, not only do you have the person in front of you that's talking to you, but you also have voices in your head that are speaking as well. So it's hard to distinguish the person's voice that's speaking to you face to face and what's going on in your head. And now it gets very confusing and frustrating when you're trying to focus on what the person is saying, but at the same time, you're hearing voices that are telling you to do obscene things. And to the person that you're speaking with, or to yourself, or to others, and to try to block that out, it is extremely hard to do because you're trying to figure out which is reality and which is not. And one thing that I've learned is, even though I try to focus on the person in which is referring to me and talking to me face to face, I still get those impulses in my brain and those voices telling me to do harm and other things, saying that I'm worthless and all of this. And it, after a while, it gets to the point where you start believing, and while you're believing these things that are being told to you on a daily basis, from sun up to sundown and beyond, it's extremely hard to distinguish what's reality and what's not. Now, auditory hallucinations fall in the category of trying to distinguish what's fact and what's fiction. And as I said before, when you're talking to somebody face to face, it's extremely hard and difficult to distinguish what's fact and what's fiction. And when it comes to this social integration and trying to talk to this person, you're constantly bombarded by negative thoughts that are going through your head, and it's extremely difficult to focus on what the person is actually saying. Now, one person that I have spoke to, uh, which is a psychiatrist, and she put it in the words of, imagine you in a room setting and given document to read while other people are saying negative things as you're reading this document. I challenge you to try to do that successfully while the other people are talking to you in a negative way. And I guarantee you that you will not be able to complete the whole assignment because you will be overcome by listening to what the other people are saying in the room towards you. And that's what's really hard, is trying to be social and not be negative all the time. And it's one of those things where you try to comprehend what the other person is saying, but at the same time you've got 4 or 5 voices in your head that are talking at the same time. It's extremely hard to focus on, like I said, focus on what the actual person is saying. So in the end, there you are in a conversation with somebody, and in your head there are multiple people talking in a disruptive manner, negative manner, and you can't focus on the conversation that's presented to you. So that's where the delayed reaction or the delayed comments come in to continue that specific conversation. And that's when people start realizing that, hey, there's something off with this person and we don't want anything to do with them. We're not going to talk to them because there's obviously something wrong with them. Well, even though there is something off about the person, it just means that they need more help and more time to acknowledge the conversation which is beholding and trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Now, it's not an excuse. I'm not saying that it's an excuse. I'm just trying to express that that is what's happening in the person's mind, and it's uncontrollable. Even though you take medication for that and whatnot, it doesn't eliminate, it just suppresses to a tone that you're able to be social, but at the same time you're still hearing the voices, but not to the gravity of yelling or screaming, but it's still there. And it's extremely difficult to have a conversation with somebody with the voices screaming at you and all that. So I challenge you, another challenge. Try to talk to somebody while you have 4 or 5 friends around you talking at the same time that you're trying to talk to another individual and have an intelligent conversation with, and hearing those people behind you talking in a negative manner against you, and carry on that conversation with the other person that you're affiliating yourself with, and try to do that. And I guarantee you that after a while you will get so fed up with it that you will say, you know what, this is BS, I can't do this, and you give up. I guarantee you that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, you may be able to give up, but somebody that has this illness doesn't have the ability to say, I give up. They continue day to day, minute by minute, having to deal with this illness, and it's extremely hard, and it basically takes away your social ability to coincide with society on a daily basis. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and in the next video I'm going to talk about the hallucinations, visual hallucinations that come from having schizophrenia. Thank you, and have a good day.